Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Week 5 of the Corporate Esports Association Fall 2020 Starcraft 2 season. We're bringing you another exciting week of Starcraft action between the Red Hatlings and Google ggMail. I'm your host, Eagle Searcher, joined by our SCTuesdays team, Big Tasano and Damn Glam. Say hi to the cast, guys.
Howdy, howdy.
So it looks like we got a pretty exciting cast up for us today. Already have a lobby started up, so we'll be jumping into this shortly. Big Toe, what do you think about our matchup today?
Looking forward to week 5 here. We had another Google team, and should be some interesting games. We got, the first game, which we never see much of. We have a random player.
That's right. I believe this is the first random player we've seen this season.
I think so, and so that's always fun. You always think you might be seeing some kind of a strange build when you get a random player.
Well, if the name doesn't give it away, I got plans.
Yeah, he's definitely broadcasting some intentions there, and we'll have to see what happens with that. But yeah, we're starting off with a Zip from the Red Hatlings, plays Zerg, versus I Got Plans, who plays Random from Google ggMail.
That's right. We'll be on Jagannatha. Take a look at our graphic here on screen. You do notice that it is a fairly tall map. Has a lot of pretty safe natural. The third starts to get a little bit tricky. In this case, Zerg pretty favored against Protoss, wins about 62% of the time. However, Terran a little favored against Zerg that's Zerg also favored against Terran. So about a 55% win rate in the ZVT, 62% in the ZVP, and exactly 50-50 on the ZVZ.
There we go. So, if he does get a ZVZ, statistically tied. But, well, they are confirming his random. He is playing random, as we hoped he would. So, yeah, stand by, everybody. We are about to get the game loaded up, doing some final admin work here to get it going. And the Corporate Esports League Week 5 will commence.
That's right. We're playing the Cellar match this week. Both Red Hat and Google ggMail sitting at 0-4 on the season. So no matter what, somebody's got to come out with a win today.
That's right. I like looking at it that way. Here we go. Going into game 1. Starcraft Saturdays. Almost as good as a Starcraft Tuesday, but
It's basically the second best day of the week. Of course, any day you get to play StarCraft is a pretty great day. Watching StarCraft's pretty cool too.
All right. And here we go against the game start off. That countdown. Thank you, Blizzard. But we'll begin our player intros in just a second here.
All right, and we're getting into the game. Just a slight hiccup there as one of the observers has dropped out. But we're starting here in the lower left corner, wearing the red trunks for the Red Hatlings. It's Zip.
And in the top right, playing for ggMail, it is I've Got Plans, playing today as Zerg.
That's right, it is at ZVZ. As you know, in the ZVZ matchup, Zerg always wins.
Yeah, you could say Zerg is broken for that reason.
But on the other hand, Zerg always loses this matchup.
True. So are they broken?
It's hard to say. Clearly need to buff / nerf.
We want them to turn a Zergling's health to 1 and then put it right back, and then that would fix the problem.
I really think maybe put it to 1, but give it 5,000 damage. Something along those lines.
Yeah. I'll never play the game ever again.
You do see that that blue drone coming down now is going to arrive right on time to block the hatch from Zip, but Zip also now knows it's a mirror matchup.
He does, yeah. So aware of what's going on, and
the early pool with the first 4 lings now coming across the map. It looks like I Got Plans dropping a spine crawler. It looks like it's an aggressive spine crawler in Zip's base. I Got Plans going all out on his aggression here.
That's right. Yeah, he's going to be following up. Zip has not seen the Zerglings just yet. He's about to.
Hasn't responded to the spine crawler either. If we take a look at Zip's main, you see the spine crawler going down at the top there, about to finish. That's going to be a difficult situation for Zip to deal with.
It is out of his vision, actually. I just checked, so he may not see the spine crawler, but does have lings of his own, and so should be able to fend this off.
He's going to know about it now, though, as that spine crawler gets in position. The lings get into the mineral line. A lot of lost mining time for these drones as they're trying to respond to this early aggression from I Got Plans. Such a weird, tricky build. Not sure he's going to follow up on it, as he has gone ahead and expanded at home. Zip cleaning up the lings, cleaning up the spine crawler aggression, and now seeing what's happening on the other side of the map.
That's right. Yeah, he's got the picture. Gonna send some Zerglings of his own to meet the same number of Zerglings. Oh man, caught off guard. And they run through that zone in the middle of the map, by the way, does slow down all the units.
It's actually quite the opposite. It's a speed zone.
Wait, speed up? Oh yeah, right. I'm wrong. Speed up zone. Even better.
That's right. But I Got Plans really behind on this second hatch. I was going to put him behind on the larva production. Zip's just going to be able to make so many more lings, but that baneling nest popping now. If I Got Plans can get some good baneling hits, he can really negate the larva advantage. But we'll see if Zip decides to continue to be aggressive. I Got Plans with the defender's advantage, just able to hold off the couple of poking lings from Zip.
Yeah, that defender's advantage is key, but you know, banelings are a little more key. So that will definitely shut down the Zergling portion of the fight, pretty much. And you can see Zip's getting a full wall there. Not even letting these Zerglings. You can't come back. You left. Sorry.
Queen decides to let him in. Doing a good job there, demonstrating the full wall off. And I think
that Queens can damage their own hatch.
That's right. Apparently just made a mistake on his build, was never supposed to drop a second hatch, and is just trying to rectify it.
That's right, yep. Eventually it'll die. You know, it might be a while, but hoping he catches on to that.
It's taking some damage, though. Oh, okay. He discovered the problem, and at the very least, probably when he came through to do his inject, it would stop auto-attacking.
You know, Queens, they administer the tough love sometimes, so it just had to be done.
Yeah, scouting with this baneling here, not quite sure. I guess it's the units he has is the units he's using. But Roaches coming out for Zip. That's going to be bad news for I Got Plans, who hasn't transitioned out of that Ling Bane yet. These Roaches just able to soak up so many hits. I'm not sure what I Got Plans is doing at home, but destroying his own units seems to be a common theme.
Yeah, I'd say so. You know, he is going up to hatch tech, so that could mean a couple of things. But he does.
Terrible block here! He tries to get the third down. Zip morphs banelings right on top of it, and loses those 3 banelings, but. I Got Plans. Well, his plan has been discovered. Zip knows he wants to get that fast third.
He does. Yeah, you know, not the worst trade for I Got Plans. A couple free banelings for lings, but he's going to go check on Zip's third. You're going to see that it's not down yet. And so that's his clue to know that aggression is likely coming his way.
Yeah, an interesting turn of events here is that I Got Plans really cranking those Roaches out. His lair is about to finish, while Zip's lair just started. So I Got Plans going to be able to really leverage some of those upgrades, possibly make these Roaches super sneaky, maybe going for burrow, maybe going for roach speed, but we see similar roach numbers out of both players, but missile attacks 1 now finishing for Zip.
That's right, and that does make a big difference there in their fights. You know, it's kind of stabilizing. Of course, Zip has a clear advantage, but and a worker count and a couple of upgrades. But we're making a game out of it.
That's
sure.
right. Now, of course, I Got Plans was able to start his hatch considerably before Zip. Zip just dropping his 3rd, but really droning hard. 11 drones in production right now. Really wants to get the econ rocking. More econ means he can spend all that larva on making just army and overwhelming, but both players content to sit at home right now. Zip opting for the upgrade heavy approach, getting missile 2 attacks as well as carapace 1, and getting roach speed, so really looking to commit to the roaches.
Yeah, for sure. We have both players kind of on similar trajectories, but yeah, Zip, as you said, is just a bit ahead in the tech department and upgrades department, and so
not in the army department though. I Got Plans with a 20 supply army lead. Most of that's roaches, so that's like 3 roaches. But you know, if I Got Plans decided to move across and stage a big attack, well, Zip would probably know about it because that creep spread is almost to the middle of the map.
That's true. Yeah, he's going to morph a couple of banelings here, as we can see. Most likely going to run those into those workers right there.
Any day now.
But Zip does have a roach sitting there, and a bunch of roaches, so we'll see what happens. But upgrades coming out for both players. Whole lot in production for Zip, and mostly drones there for I Got Plans.
Yeah, that sort of army build-up from I Got Plans seemingly going to waste as Zip slowly is trying to catch up, come in behind. Did lose 2 drones there with the banelings coming in, but the roaches there to defend their boys. Not taking heavy losses today. 10 roaches in production for Zip. This is going to put him right back even in army supply. So all that focus on econ upgrades when we do get a big fight out in the middle, Zip's roaches are just going to be better.
Yeah, you know, if two players, if you have an army advantage and you don't use it, and the other player went for economy, you know, they're eventually going to get ahead. And right now we can see that mostly in Zip's bank as well as his upgrades. And so, but he is moving out now. Both players actually leaving their bases, and we might have kind of a similar simultaneous attack going on both sides of the map.
That's right. Has moved around. Zip is going to be aware of it because as the blue Zerg army moves on to creep, decides to turn around and come home. Did not commit to that attack. All the roaches are now coming home. You do see the lurker den started for I Got Plans, so he's looking to play some catch up in the tech. Zip, with that excellent creep spread, has just been able to scope out where that army is, keep tabs on his opponent. Now, sort of pincering him, has units rallying up on the left side while he comes down to the right side, able to pick off the Ravager, grabbing a couple of free roaches. Anytime you can get free units out of your opponent, that's a win.
Yeah, you get these, especially in all matchups, but especially mirror matchups. Positioning is everything. When you got the same types of units, it's really just about how you use those units. And so you get your units in a choke point, it's going to make it turn the tide. So defender's advantage will kick in here if Zip does try to rush into the base.
Yeah, we are in an interesting position here. If either side stops building roaches, the other side might just overwhelm them. However, I Got Plans has quite a bit more tech, and Zip's coming around. Excellent positioning here. Going to try to pincer this army, coming in with an excellent concave, both sides. Chewing through these roaches, gets the biles down. Those Ravagers could do so much DPS. Now starting to pick away at that hatchery there. All of Blue's roaches falling. The supply dropping drastically. I Got Plans now half the supply of Zip. Zip's looking for the killing blow here.
Yeah, I imagine we're about to see that GG. There's not a whole lot he can really do. Is trying to get some lurkers out, but just one. Lurker.
One lurker can do a lot of damage. Zip doesn't have any detection here.
He does not. Does have biles, as we can see. Can hit the lurker. safely, so we'll likely throw one of those down, finish it off. Boom! There it goes. That's how a lurker sounds when it pops.
Zip taking his time here, just wants to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. When you're this close to victory, you don't want to throw it away. But there's the GG and the game. Red Hat takes game number 1.
Yeah, always fun to see a random player like that, and try to an interesting kind of quirky rush to start with that kind of reduced Zergling count, but invested in that drone and spine crawler in the opponent base.
That's right.
Did get some damage done, but wasn't quite able to leverage his...
Yeah, he really forced Zip to pull most of his workers, and that's a lot of lost mining time for the Zerg. Now, you know, the caveat to that, of course, is that Zip just had a lot of workers to work with, and just a really excellent defense there, pulling the right number of workers, not throwing away anything unnecessarily. Continuing to mine, you know, squeak out those extra couple of minerals, keep everything running. While I Got Plans sort of threw a whole lot into it.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. Looks like we are gonna get started and prep for our second game. And let's tell you about what that'll be. That will be a PVZ on Hard Rain, Team Liquid contest map. Always nice to see those in the pool. And we'll have Felicitas playing for the Red Hatlings, Protoss, versus Jace Onions, a Zerg player from ggMail. What do you think of that name?
Well, it's tough to pronounce.
It sure is. Is it Jasonians?
I would probably go with, I'm personally a big fan of onions, but Jasonians seems like the more appropriate. Someone of the Jason, persuasion, perhaps.
Yep, I can see that. I will defer to your knowledge on the onions being the chili guy, pepper guy. Yeah, looks like they're still building out the lobby. But the Hard Rain map, let's take a look at that map. I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, so this was a Team Liquid map from the most recent TLM C14. Of course, we don't have any stats from Liquipedia, not being a ladder map. But you do see a number of bases here, fairly easy to defend, natural and a third. While we could see a little bit more of an macro game here, but PVZ, plenty of opportunities for cheese as well.
Yeah, definitely. PVZ is a fun matchup to watch. It seems like the meta is changing quite a bit.
Yeah, it's one of those matchups that the meta always seems to be changing. It changes so much. It's one of the, Protoss, you see the meta so much different at different skill levels as well. At the pro level, we've seen a lot of Protoss struggle for quite a while Zerg is admittedly doing awfully well. But at the lower levels, of course, Protoss always seems to dominate. Getting the Golden Armada, Void Rays especially, just so hard for lower level players to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of seeing the builds change. There was a while where there were a lot of mass adept builds designed to catch the Zerg off guard. Seem to not be seeing those as often, but curious to see what we will see today from the players, and we're getting into the game. And yeah, more StarCraft.
That's right, countdown has started. And we're going to get into the game now. So, starting in the upper left corner, wearing the blue trunks, playing Zerg for ggMail, it is Jasonian.
Jace Onion. In the lower right, playing for the Red Hatlings, it is the philosophy toss, Velocitas.
Now, is that Philosotos or Philocitos?
It could be. You know, we can't reveal player names, so his name could be Phil. But I like to think he's a philosophical player. Pulls out some unique builds. We did see some unique rushes from him.
Absolutely.
But
doesn't look like you can
we've
see
talked
anything.
about names for quite a bit, so.
Yeah, doesn't seem like we'll see anything unique this time. Velocitas opting for a pretty standard, walling the natural, getting that gas. Jasonian grabbing that hatch first, getting a gas of his own. Of course, Velocitas walking into the base. He's going to see exactly what his opponent's doing. He's going to see nothing out of the ordinary. Very standard opening.
Yep. That drone will come over and say, hey, what are you doing here? Not welcome in the base. Please leave. And escort him out. And meanwhile, we have that second base going down, so we're not going to see anything too fast in terms of cheese out of Velocitas.
Right. And that's the importance of that scout there. Velocitas walking in the Zerg base, seeing that very standard timing, knows that it is completely safe for him to go ahead and drop that Nexus. Gets his drone out, or gets his probe out, drops that base, and the Zerg also doing his diligence. The Overlord floating on over is going to see this build up here at the front for the Protoss.
That's right, and you know, pretty common for the Protoss to make a wall in their natural. Why he's getting a Stalker now, and maybe want to push that Overlord away. But meanwhile, on this side of the map, we do have Zergling speed and some Queens coming out. So there is that wall coming in that I mentioned. Plug the Stalker in, and you got a full wall. Put a shield battery behind it, and you basically can't get Zerglings in.
That's right. That Overlord is going to float off. He's just going to hang out on the side over there. Interesting choice of positioning. Does have the perf perch right there that he could float on over to, but decides he wants to hang out and be seen. This guy, he's an upstanding Zerg. He's an upstanding Overlord. Really, you know, more of an exhibitionist.
We need more of that, right? We need
That's
more
right.
of that, right? So yeah, Robo going down, Mainly Nest going down, kind of the typical tech paths of each respective race here. And so, and there's that shield battery.
Yeah, a very fast Robo though, so you know we could see some very fast Immortal play, some early Colossus, just very good against the Zerg ground compositions. 18 Lings coming out for Jasonian right now though, so it looks like he might be ready to make a move. Catch Velocitas off guard, has that Baneling Nest. This could be a big bust here in a second.
That's right. I'm guessing we're either going to see that. If he doesn't pop an Immortal, he might go for the Observer, but he's really not going to have... Oh, it does hallucinate a Phoenix. Is going to see this stream of Zerglings coming in. It looks like, yes, he does.
Yeah, he should know something's up at this point. Assuming he's paying attention and didn't just send it off for scouting purposes. Warp Gate finished, right. So he's going to be able to reinforce his army very quickly, but only one shield battery. This is going to be... I mean, those Stalkers at the front with the shield battery, basically immortal, but
yeah, it's
not
gonna
completely.
Be key that he gets the force field out pretty quickly here. No, okay, does land the force field.
And the Stalker at full health regardless.
That's right. Again, you get a Stalker in that choke point with a shield battery. It takes an insane number of Zerglings to knock him out. And so...
Colossus coming out, getting chronoed. He did get the Observer out. It was a smart move, just scouting his opponent, knowing what's coming. He's going to see either the army leave, which it appears to be doing right now, knowing he's pretty safe.
Yep. Again, taking his third, realizing that there's not a whole lot he can get done with what he has, especially when that Colossus pops. Not that he knows that, but that would definitely shut it down as well. Going to get Thermal Lance. Zerg's going up the tech tree.
That's right. It looks like Velocitas moving out now. Taking his hit force. Looks like he might be ready to take that third. Probe hanging out, and there's the third getting dropped. A couple of Lings running down. We'll see if they spot this. They are going to see it. We'll see if he wants to do anything about it. Just a handful of units there to defend, but the mighty Colossus standing up front, just doing so much splash damage. Thermal Lance about halfway done. when that's finished, Zerg's being in for a world of hurt.
Yeah. So key to have splash damage, all armies, but definitely against a Zerg ground force. And so that Colossus, very important. Got Roach Warren coming out, missile attacks, kind of normal tech tree from Zerg as well.
A little delayed though. I mean, second Colossus on its way. Roaches are not going to be able to stop what Velocitas is throwing at him.
That is true. Yes, he needs a lot more than that. Going to need some higher tech units. Some, of course, if you want to counter Colossus, you get Corruptors, you get Vipers, you get something to really deal with them in the back line.
That's right, and even lurkers, Hydra lurkers getting the DPS, but obviously the natural counter is the Corruptor, and no fire in sight. So just hoping to out macro him. Does have 3 running bases, but on that note, so does Velocitas. Velocitas starting to pull ahead in supply, in worker count, in army count, just looking so good right now.
He really is. Yeah, does have everything going for him. Can kind of progress throughout this mid-game however he wants. But it looks like again, you got the lead, you're really not incentivized to go across the map if you don't have to. So. And
if he did decide to rock across the map, something ggSonian is doing really well right now, has those overlords very well positioned, sees most of the map. As soon as that Protoss ball starts to move, ggSonian will be able to react. So very good scouting, very good map awareness right now.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. It just needs. He is making the right choice to invest his economy right now, because he'll pretty much lose the game if he doesn't, one way or the other, whether it happens faster or later on. So making the right call, ggSonian, and getting his economy, try to get parity with Velocitas, but gonna have to hope he has the time.
That's right. This Protoss Death Ball getting stronger and stronger. The +1 upgrade starting now for the Protoss. Zerg will be slightly ahead on upgrades. Is slightly going to be ahead in economy with 4 bases, but you can see all those upgrades coming down. The Hydra range, the Roach speed, just trying to buy some time, trying not to die. But Velocitas, he's good expanding too. He's happy to sit back until he has just an unbeatable army, and he can just roll over the opponent's Zerg.
Yeah, and the way the economics of the game work, Zerg does always want to be a base ahead on the other races, and we can see that he's not. He's just now planning a 4th as Velocitas does, and so just not going to have that swarm that you see in the cinematic and these games where the Zerg just overwhelmed with numbers. He's going to have to get tricky with his units.
Yeah, and Velocitas being very conservative here. You see him walling off that 4th. Just really limiting the surface area that the Zerg are going to want to come in from that left side and attack. It's expensive. He spent a good amount of money trying to defend that base with buildings essentially. But the Phoenixes are going to fly over. They're going to see where the army is, where it's balled up. But a number of Colossus in that death ball and a couple of observers. Looks like Velocitas is ready to push.
Yeah, and he's fighting in this narrow area, which is just awful for ggSonian, unfortunately. Going to be able to force field and control the way the battle looks completely. So might have to get a position. Doesn't want to go down through any chokes, but
yeah, he keeps trying to fight through these chokes. I would have liked to have seen him split the army, maybe try to catch the Protoss off guard when he had moved up to that upper ramp, but just enough. A lot of Hydras there, enough to push Velocitas back. He is going to regroup, get more and more Stalkers. Those Stalkers, they don't scale terribly well against what the Zerg is doing. They are beefy units. They do good damage, but is just really relying on the Colossi for all of that damage.
Yeah, that's right.
We do see a fleet bacon going down.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have some bacon in here. Charging right in onto Velocitas, maybe trying to catch him off guard, bullying himself right up the ramp, but that is not the position he wants. Didn't even have high ground vision at the start there.
Yeah, poor decision making. Just didn't have for ggSonian, who's had such good vision on the map this whole time. didn't peek before he went up and lost so much. Those Colossi just standing ready to burn through that Zerg army. Like shooting fish in a barrel.
That's right. To his credit, he might not have known the Protoss army was sitting right there, but it has been really good with vision and otherwise. So we'll see if he's just going to sit back now and probably hoping to just buy some time to regroup and gather his army.
Well, the more time Velocitas gets, a third Stargate, or 2 more Stargates about to finish. 2 carriers already on the way. The Golden Armada is approaching.
That's right. We got the blimps coming out.
Now,
So
I have to say, I'm not sure about this read from Velocitas. Jasonian had a lot of Hydras. With those Colossi, you'd expect him to be moving into Spire Tech. So, a lot of natural counters to what the Protoss wants to do. But, on the other hand, those blimps are pretty sturdy.
Yeah, he hasn't shown the Spire Tech yet, so might be just hoping to get that. Sometimes the carriers show up and you're just not ready for them. You can win the game right there, and so maybe he's hoping for that reveal. But we'll see.
You say reveal, but both sides now maxed. So if Velocitas wants to add more carriers, he's going to have to start throwing units away.
He's got that ball of Stalkers. They'd make a good choice.
And, well, I mean, to be fair, again, Jasonian has climbed into this game for all of the advantage that Velocitas has had this whole time. He hasn't been leveraging it. Just sitting on a big army. Jasonian taking his time, expanding behind it, keeping his economy. Knows that he can't beat that death ball. Just waiting. Looking for an opportunity to take an efficient trade. And is going to move on to this 4th now. Tearing through that wall, but that wall buying so much time for the Protoss army to get here. They're going to come up behind, and he's going to have no escape. All these Hydras are going to die.
Yeah. Oh boy, yeah, this is now a bad engagement for Jasonian. Does get the base, but he's going to lose a whole lot. Probably not kill a single carrier.
He is chewing through quite a few interceptors. Those carriers haven't been out very long, haven't had a chance to really build all of their interceptors yet, but has shown his hand. Jasonian, he's going to be in a hurry to get some units out to kill those carriers. 12 Hydras in production, able to replace a lot of what he lost. I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing some Corruptors come out. We did see that Spire finish. Getting more and more gas, really going to need the gas to stop what Protoss is building.
That's right, yeah. He does seem to continue. Got 14 Hydras in production there, and so he's continuing to stay on the ground. Doesn't want to go into the air yet. But, you can fight carriers on the ground, but you need that critical mass of Hydras. And I don't know that he has the economy to get it.
Yeah, both players have shown a very passive play style here. So I'd anticipate both of them continuing this dance. Jasonian want to get to that critical mass of Hydra as well. To counter that, of course, there is a critical mass of carriers that you just can't do anything about.
Yeah, carriers, you can kind of pick back and sort of win the economy game sometimes with carriers by just killing interceptors after interceptors, and you can bankrupt the player. But regardless, he is going to attack this 6 o'clock base here. Velocitas army coming in from the north side. Got to be careful not to get trapped here.
He is going to focus down the Nexus, so like you said, he's playing the economy game, but he is sacking an awful lot of units to do it. He cannot afford to continue to throw away his entire army, while Velocitas, he's just got to build 1 Stalker and he's back to max.
It doesn't even get a carrier. He's got to feel bad about that one. But unfortunately not able to get that final hit on the carrier. And here, Velocitas knows he's seen what he just lost and knows his opponent can't possibly have remaxed. So
smells blood in the water. You see the carriers moving across the map. Can't much be scarier than Carrier Colossus. Just so much damage coming out so quickly. Colossi is going to take out the Hydras before they can do anything about those carriers, and this is looking bad for Jasonian. Going downhill quickly as that Protoss Death Ball. So many interceptors, so many laser beams. Not looking good.
No, not at all. Unfortunately for the Google player, not a whole lot he has available. There's that DD. bring the series to 2-0 Red Hatlings.
That's right, and that was a little bit more of a macro game, Big Toe. Something we actually haven't seen a lot of this season.
No, we haven't. You know, we've seen a lot of hijinks, which are always fun to watch as the viewer.
Mm-hmm.
We saw an attempted hijink in the first game, but did get to see the macro game. Always nice to see. And you know, to Jasonian's credit, he did narrow the gap quite a bit.
Right. There was a portion of window there where Velocitas just had so much advantage. He had he was even on bases with the Zerg. He was up on army supply. Had the tech that he wanted to deal with what the Zerg was dealing. Both sides just opting to sit back. I'd say in that case, Velocitas really ceded a lot of his advantage in the mid to late game to Jasonian, but Jasonian, feeling like he needed to make something happen, did pick off those 2 bases, but threw away so much army trying to do it. Just took 2 really bad trades, got his army out of position, and lost so much. Can't really afford to do that against a Protoss that has hit critical mass, and that was the beginning of the end for him.
Yeah, you know, but that is part of the beauty of this league. You know, you see there is such a wide range in players' experience levels and MMR and all that, and so you know you have players that are, you know, Jasonian sort of had all the right pieces, but not as refined in his approach of how to use that economy, how to use that army composition. And,
even so, I'd say he definitely demonstrated a steel discipline there, right? Because you see that Protoss Deathball building, and you can't help but think as a Zerg, like, oh man, there is nothing I can do that. And he hung in there, and he grinded it out to try to put himself into an advantage to deal with it, and it just got late enough. I mean, I almost think that if Jasonian had hung out a little bit more, if he had maybe sent some smaller hit forces to deal with those bases, he would have had a better chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Just enough to kind of, or even just to kill all the workers.
That's right. But we're actually rolling into game number 3 now here between Cephalopod and Blue Topaz, who is a Protoss, on Pillars of Gold. The game has loaded in. We'll be getting into the game here shortly. Game number 3 between the Red Hatlings and ggMail.
That's right. And do have a pretty significant MMR difference between the players, with the Red Hat player being pretty much higher, pretty far higher. However, as we always say, anything is possible, especially in a best of 1.
That's right.
And so I happen to like this map quite a bit. A lot of fun games on this map, and we'll see. We happen to have a legendary game on this map last season, actually. But anyway,
we'll be getting into the game now. Loading up. Taking a good look at that CEA logo there in the center. But starting in the lower left corner, wearing the blue trunks, sporting the blue name, playing Protoss. It is Blue Topaz.
That's right. And in the top right corner, playing for the Red Hatlings, it is Cephalopod. And Bicep Curls has left the game.
Do many Bicep Curls. Definitely a way to get pumped, you know. That workout routine. Appropriate clan name there.
Exactly. Yep.
We do see some cheese coming out though. That proxy pylon, and the double gate, triple gate.
Yeah, there's kind of cheese on both sides. We have a full first also from our third player, so could just be a defensive maneuver. It does look like he is going to take his second base.
That's right. It looks like he just wanted to go ahead and get that pull down. A little bit of a safer build for the Zerg. It's interesting to note that MMR difference between the players. Of course, we say anybody can win any given day, but sometimes if you're the higher ranked player, if you sort of stick with a standard build, it can it can bite you when that lower ranked player pulls out a really well planned, really well executed cheese. He can be playing like a grandmaster.
That's right. And so he's gonna see what his opponent has going on. Does see the six or eight lings there.
It was actually
has not spotted.
Yeah, it was actually a fairly normal pro scouting timing. So nothing to kind of throw him off. He isn't going to be aware that the zealots are on the way. But you see this 4 zealots coming out, 2 of them being chronoed. Especially with those lings moving across the map, Cephalopod might not be ready.
That's right. We might have kind of a base trade situation here if those lings don't decide to go home. But these 4 zealots, they can kill a lot of zerglings and do a lot of damage.
That's right. He's going to see that base come up and start hacking away. And Cephalopod's going to wonder what's going on. No hint of that proxy, but the lings have made it into Blue Topaz's main now. If we take a look at the Protoss main, you're going to see all the workers are running, doing their best, trying to kill the lings, but losing so many workers. Lings slowly dying. It looks like he may win this fight, but down to 3 workers. That's not good.
Yeah, so the amount of zealots he has right now, he literally cannot build another one. So gonna have to make it work.
That's right. That is a lot of sticky boys, though. Swinging those Cybades is gonna back up to the ramp, try to get a phalanx to deal with what Zerg's coming out. Cephalopod probably feeling a little on the back foot, but way ahead in economy, so it's up to him not to make a mistake here. These zealots could end the game if given the chance.
Yeah, still got down to 4 now, but it does look like he's going to get just enough damage in and pull back at the right times. Cephalopod really playing this defensively.
Well, Cephalopod down to 0 workers. Not a recommended position for the game of Starcraft, in which you start with 12. But did chrono out that first worker, so is going to GG here. So writing's on the wall. Red Hat takes the game and the series 3-0.
Yeah, that'll be a sweep, a clean sweep, and Red Hat's first win of the season. Red Hatlings, and yeah, good to see a point on the board, and appreciated the good games.
Yeah, it was an interesting build. That really aggressive 4-gate, if you could even call it that, from Blue Topaz, just trying to get those zealots out, trying to get so much damage. I have to say, if Cephalopod did not go pool first, he would have probably been dead.
Yeah, exactly. That game could have gone, to Blue Topaz's credit, that game could have gone very differently had he taken a more normal kind of, or an economic leaning build. Would have probably just had a queen, and that's it to deal with that. So,
but again, that is part of the meta here. When you see that MMR difference, it's almost expected that the lower player is going to cheese. So if you can tailor your build, if you can sort of play a little bit more defensively, that helps. Looks like there's a little bit of discussion about whether or not we want to play this 4th game for fun.
Some jokes going down that we have a player on the Red Hatlings named Cyril, always close to wondering if it is Cyril himself. He never tells us. But,
well, the insider knowledge, my Red Hat insider tells me Cyril actually a European player.
That's right. So, one of 20-something countries. It could be Finland. We don't know.
Finland is an option. But, he could come. It could be anywhere.
That's right. Cyril most likely has several remote locations. Needs to get that perfect ping, depending on what tournament he's playing in.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it looks like we are gonna play a 4th game between not the scheduled matchup, but a different one.
Yeah, that's right. We are getting some bonus Starcraft in. Not quite sure who our players will be yet. But 4 games absolutely will giving you free Starcraft here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Week 5 of the Corporate Esports Association Fall 2020 season. The Red Hatlings got to be feeling pretty good after this series, taking their first win. They're ready to start moving up that ladder. That Swiss has been pretty brutal this season, taking some really hard teams early on, but as the standings are sort of shaking out, we are going to see more evenly matched. We're going to see teams that we should see a lot of really close matches. Of course, there's been a lot of opportunities where Red Hat has sort of lost a coin flip, had some bad luck, wasn't able to take the series, but we'll take this as a momentum changer.
Yeah, that's right. Just setting some ground rules here. Players have established they're considering a no rush 20 rule, a common one that many of you may be familiar with.
One ground rule being proposed: nothing above the belt.
That's right. That is right. Exactly. Yep. Buildings only, perhaps, also being said. Yeah. You can win a game with buildings.
That is correct. Don't need to build units whatsoever. Turns out the win condition for StarCraft, your opponent doesn't have buildings.
That's right. At its most basic nature, it is a building simulator.
In some regard, of course, you do need more workers to build more buildings. So building units is usually helpful. But
they're discussing possibly meeting in the middle. Just worker fights, all kinds of stuff's just going down here, and we're here to bring you that StarCraft as we load up the game.
That's right. It looks like it's going to be Cyril versus Atlantean from ggMail, a ZVP on Romanticide. The game is loading. The countdown is ticking. We're about to get into it.
That's right. More StarCraft for the day. ZVP, second one of the day. And I don't know. We might see some strangeness here.
But we're jumping into the game now. Unfortunately, Jasonian has left the game. Quite unfortunate.
I'm not going to enjoy this now.
Yeah, but in the upper left, sporting the green trunks. A little bit more of a usual color for our player. Cyril seems to appreciate the green color. Trying to hold his own, win that moral victory for Red Hat. Don't want to lose a game in the fun game. It's Cyril.
That's right. And I don't know what we're gonna see here, Eagle.
Well, we are gonna see in the lower right corner in the blue trunks playing Protoss for ggMail, Atlantean.
Yeah, I guess I should say his name. Bonus StarCraft, bonus probe leaving the base. Just everything's a bonus at this point.
That would be a pretty standard probe. Doing some scouting, if even a little late. Sometimes the Protoss wants to get there early, try to block the hatch going down. But Cyril, not having none of that nonsense, got that hatch down quickly. Doesn't have a pool yet, though.
That's right. Extractor first. A little bit different. Maybe he wants to get that ling speed as soon as he possibly can.
It is a very standard timing for Zerg to go gas first. It allows you to have just enough gas when the pool finishes to start ling speed.
That shows you how much I play Zerg. And second base coming down from the Protoss player.
So Atlantean not looking to fall behind in the economy game. Both players sending lots of workers the other person's way, just trying to get as much scouting information as they possibly can. But so far, very standard. Nobody pulling any shenanigans. Looks like we're going to have a fair gentleman's match here, or gentlewoman's. Not,
Don't want to assume.
Don't want to assume.
My question is actually, what happens when a Jasonian meets an Atlantean?
Would that be as Atlantigisonian or a Gisson Atlantean?
That, they both could work. It really depends.
These two Lings are going to come out for Cyril. Going to just move them across the map. Just scouting. Not looking to do any major damage. 4 more following behind. Just some light poke. We do see the Twilight going down for the Protoss, so we're really getting that tech going quickly. Blink play, really popular on this map. The bases sort of have a large surface area to blink up and down into the main. But that Stalker on move command, oh, he's not going to make that.
No, it's not going to go well. Thank you, Damn Glam. Got that Carnage in close up. Not a whole lot. He does have an Adept about to pop. They are very good against Lurlings, but gonna possibly lose his Nexus if he doesn't do something about this.
Those probes just mining like it's none of their business. Dep's gonna come out, pulls the boys. He wants no more of this Zerg shenanigans. And those Zerglings are gonna run away. Did get a Stalker, did get a Pylon. Pretty good microaggression out of Cyril.
That's right. In that position there of the Overlord, our famous Perv Perch does allow him to see everything around there and not be seen. So, gonna know what's going on, what kind of units are rolling out, and comes in for the second wave. Gets us around on the Adept.
Adept's pretty good against Lings, but not that many Lings. Atlantean just doesn't have the gateways to support this. Went Robo, getting the Warp Prism out, but isn't gonna have anything to put in it. Just trying to tech up too heavy, too fast. Maybe wanted to get that Adept Glaives and do an Adept drop or something like that, but just not going to work out for him. Cyril being so aggressive here. Cyril really building that reputation as a super aggressive, almost cheesy player here in CEA.
And down goes the Artosis Pylon. And there goes the GG.
For our second game in a row, the ggMail Protoss goes down to 0 workers. Good game, though. All of our games today. Excellent series between our two teams. Red Hat still coming away with the win. Cyril taking the moral victory, winning the fun game against Atlantean. And I think that will wrap up what we have planned for you today. Any final thoughts, Big Toe and or Damglam?
I'll chime in first, but yeah, just again a series of good games. Always like to see the variety. We got some rushes, got a really good macro game. Definitely enjoyed the second game the most. And yeah, Red Hat got a point on the board. Always also good. What do you think, Damglam?
Yeah, I was gonna say, that second game is probably my favorite out of the series. There, it's nice to see a long game every once in a while. Lots of attacking, fun going on there, but also fun to have the first win of the season for the Red Hatlings there, and then also get a 4th free game with Starcraft in for today as well.
That's right. We are just passing the halfway point of the season. So, of course, Red Hat lost their first 4 weeks, so clearly going to win out. Going to win the last 4 weeks, squeak into the playoffs, and take it all. I'm going to call it right now. So don't prove me wrong, boys. But that will wrap us up. That'll wrap us up for today. I'm your host, Eagle Searcher, joined by Big Tisano and Damglam. If you enjoyed our cast